And the United States suffers from the fact that we try to present ourselves always as the world's most moral country, as the
Yeah.
country that's the standard bearer for human rights and love and peace and what we like to call the rules-based order and things like that. And by putting ourselves in that position, when we fall short, then of course others have every reason to criticize us, and they do and should. Now, when the violation is as extreme as this is, when the hypocrisy is so apparent, and when it's so easily contrasted with, say, the American position on Ukraine, where we never stop criticizing Russia for what it's doing in Ukraine, perfectly understandably, in my view. And then that's compared to our attitude towards Israel, where in one case we're opposing horrible actions, and in another case we're supporting horrible actions. It's not surprising that other states, point this out. And what this means, of course, is that it becomes harder over time for the United States to persuade others to follow our lead. When we try to go to, international meetings and get others on our side and isolate countries we might have disagreements with, it becomes much, much harder to do. To me, it's not an accident at all that the United States has been unable to get much support for its position on Ukraine outside of Europe. Right, and a handful of very close allies in Asia. Most of the rest of the world sees no reason to get involved in that fight and doesn't think if it's a moral issue. If it was a moral issue, you'd think the United States would also be taking a similar position with respect to the conflict now happening in the Middle East.